Cincinnati is awesome. And I don't think...
So we took a trip to Cincinnati for the Cincinnati Open because we both played tennis in high school, right? And we watched the movies Challengers, and we both really like that movie.
And her parents don't.
Well, my parents are very like PG,
they're older, so
very
I don't think they,
Well, you know, some people are older and they get into the raunchy things, right?
Really?
But come on now.
I just feel like
Renfest,
the
Renaissance Festival, if you know, you know.
The ratio, I feel like it's different.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that. Personally, I wouldn't say that. I mean, not speaking from experience, it's just like things that I've witnessed online.
I'm not dying on these hills.
Anyway, what were you talking about?
Cincinnati.
Yeah. Oh, Challengers, yes. Mm-hmm. And so we had watched it and we're like, you know what? Let's just go to Cincinnati. The flights are cheap.
It's so cheap. It was $70, guys.
$74.
Trip.
We flew Frontier.
It was good. It was better this time.
Yeah, because I was a little scarred because last time we went to when we went to New York 2 years ago, that was one of the worst flights I've ever taken.
I literally hate. Okay,
like
we're not being elitist. Okay, like. I am such a cheap traveler. She knows.
Oh, I know.
I'm such a cheap traveler. I'm a budget traveler because I travel a lot, so I can't be dropping like $400 on these flights. Frontier is another level because I love Spirit. Like, I actually do think, for my personal experience, in like the last 2 years, so before that I can't attest for them, but like, they're great. They're usually on time. The longest I've been delayed is like 30 minutes. They don't really check your bag if it looks like a backpack. Like, they're fine. Like, whatever. Like, I'm pretty good with it. But Frontier is where I draw the line. Because it's just so bad.
Like, the seats, I don't know. I think I was just in a mood or something when we went to New York. Because I just, bad. Like, the seats were so uncomfortable. And I couldn't, like, go to sleep. I don't know. It was just not.
And they check your bags, like, so.
Yeah.
And, like, the thing is, we're smart, so we have bags that fit, but it's just even that they made it so difficult, and the pilot from that flight was so bad. Like, it was shaking.
There was a lot
like,
of turbulence
all the time.
And stuff.
Yeah. So when this time we're like, okay, it's Frontier, but it's $70.
Yeah, I was a little hesitant, but I was like, I'll give it another try. It's chill, like whatever. Yeah. And honestly, it was good. Besides, like, the smoke machine that happened before we took off.
She has a video of it.
I don't have a video. Maybe I'll insert it somehow, but it's just so silly goofy. I was like, is someone smoking? Is there a smoke machine on board? Like, what is happening in this moment? Yeah. And it wasn't only us who noticed it.
No,
like,
it's everybody.
Because it happens sometimes. Like, I've noticed it before on different
But it's not
flights.
Like, in your face, though.
It was literally going into our face. We're not even on the aisle seat. That's the issue there. Yeah,
it was crazy because I think, so we got on the plane, we sat down, and of course, right, my ritual, so I like pulled out my phone and started playing my mobile games.
iPad kid, yes.
Yeah, so I was like, it was like this, and then I see smoke go over my phone screen, and so I was like, what's happening? And then it's just like so much like air vapor or smoke or whatever, and we were like, is this supposed to happen? Or like,
everybody else was also sus too. They're like,
because it didn't happen like when you get on the plane. It was only after you started like ascending.
Yeah,
it was really weird, but I mean, it was fine. It was $70.
It was a really good trip. All in all, the whole time we were just like, oh my gosh, like, where's the catch? Like, this is a great city. Oh my gosh, should we move here? We're looking up like apartment
like prices.
Yeah, prices. We're looking up like all this stuff. We're like, we went to this park and there was a huge pickleball court with like 20 courts, and it's just a free for all. You just tap in. I would never need to go on dating apps if I lived there.
We met so many people. So we met 2 guys there, and then we talked to other people, and like they didn't even hit on us.
Yeah.
Like, we felt safe and seen, and like a connection with a person, but not dangerous. Like, that's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And so the whole time we're just like la-di-da-di-da, like, oh, this is great. Until the last day. Okay. The last morning. All we had to do was wake up and drive to the airport.
Yeah.
We're walking out to the car, And I'm like, hey, like, did you leave the back window open? Like, it looks open. And she was like,
I don't think so, because I see it and I'm like, it is open. But I don't think I did, because I was the last person to leave the car. And then we we inch closer to the car and we see something on the ground.
Broken glass on the floor. Literally the whole thing just like plop on the floor. I was like, wait a minute. That's not right.
We didn't do that.
We didn't do that. We're just girls. And so as we're walking up, I'm like, shit, like, shoots. There could be someone in the car still. Like, you never know, you know? This has never happened to me before.
No. Me neither. So, no one's ever broken into our car.
So we're walking up with our big ol', like, baboon to the moon backpacks.
Because we only got one personal item, right? So everything, we were there for 3 days. Everything is in that backpack. Yeah.
So, we're just like, oh, this is the catch. This right here. We found the catch, and luckily it was fine. Like, you know,
we rented the car. Like, the person who rented it out was very nice. He was on the way to the airport to pick up the car, and then I called him and I said, hey, so, like, a car was broken into, and it's not only that, there's not only broken glass, because at first I'm like, hey, do you still want me to drive it to the airport? Right. He said, sure. And then I get into the driver's seat, and then I realize the whole, like, they would try to hotwire it, so the entire thing was, like, ripped over, and I can't start the car. And then I sit in that seat, and I said, what if somebody's in the trunk right now? And so I opened the trunk, and there was no one there. But
what a false clip.
Oh, and then the thing, too, is that, like, that was, like, my weekend birthday, sort of. So we had gone the day before to, like, a market, and then Sarah got me some tea bags, like, some teas, like, some, like, loose teas. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then we put it in the console in the middle, and didn't take it in for the night. And then, so Sarah noticed.
So I was looking at the passenger seat, because I was going to get in. Mm-hmm. It's, like, so funny, because that was the only thing that was in the car, was her tea. And they had nicely laid it out on the seat, like, presented it, because she bought maybe, like, 3 bags of blue sleeve tea, a little, like, strainer kind of thing, and I don't know, like, the pan flick that you got from the place, and it's just nicely, like, laid out, like, as if they're gonna take a little picture. And I think in that moment they had a moment of realization of, like, oh damn, like, this is all they have, like,
there's nothing. Because the thing is, we didn't even leave anything out. Like, it was
because it's, like, a rental car, like,
a clean car that we didn't leave anything out, because we know better than that.
We're not stupid,
right?
Sometimes.
So I mean, the host came. He gave us a ride to the airport, like, and then that was it. But it was crazy, because I think the entire trip we're having a really good time.
A really good time. Everything's cheap. Everything's so nice and pristine.
We
like,
had really good meals too.
In the city, like, it. You know, they had flowers everywhere.
Yeah, there was an Ohio River, like, running through the city, so we saw that. It was just so nice.
The zoo, where Harambe was.
And the weather was so nice. Yeah. There's, like, greenery everywhere. Like, it was great.
Yeah.
I kept Googling, like, what's bad about Cincinnati? What's bad? And then people just kept saying, like, oh, it's pretty good, pretty solid. But the entire time, I think there was just, like, a sinking feeling of, like,
something's up.
Something's sketchy. Up. Mm-hmm. And that was it.
And then we found the sketch, and then we're like, okay, well,
maybe
we don't move.
Yeah. But I feel like, I mean, I guess we didn't drive too much, but, well, we did drive, like, outside of the city. Yeah. So I don't think the driving was that bad there. No. Just because they do have some sort of publishers. I just don't think it's that crowded. So maybe that's why